Hey, thanks for joining. It's Crystal. I'm going to tell you the story of my blue boy. Just to get going with where I was at, my mind, I've included some memes from that time. You can see for yourself kind of overall where I was at. But, yeah. We'll let this play just a few moments here, and you'll see my blue boy came in on a cloud. November the 16th at 7:55 a.m. is the time frame I took that picture. And you'll also see another picture towards the end of what to me looked like a dog in the fire. And I'll give you the dates and time frames on all that as we continue forward. In any case, this was after the fire. These pictures that you'll see here were taken in the apartment that I was renting, that we were renting in Tempe, and the house was not done, running into all kinds of issues. That's not my hair in the door, by the way. My blue boy came in to really help me. He kind of let me know who was safe, who wasn't, what he kept people away who shouldn't be near me, and really just gave me a peace and sense of calm that I hadn't felt up to that point after going through everything with the fire. So here he is. This is from the time frame that he came into my life. He was at my side, on me, laying on top of me. I'll stay quiet.
Oh boy. Oh, sorry. I know, I gotta be quiet for the dog. Next little.
That was my fat mouth. He's the one who helped me get the dog, and that was the day that I got the dog. This was afterwards, and there's a number of pictures in here because in some of my previous posts and or videos, I've talked about some of the just weather anomalies and or patterns changes. Things were just different, and I captured much of it on photos. So as my boy, for sure, you can see the patterns in the sky. This dog was like this. he was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Everything was something he was curious about, whether it was an insect or the vacuum cleaner. Water spouts were his favorite. He would do the same thing as he does on the vacuum cleaner short that I posted with the water spigot. It was great. He's a beautiful boy. I would call him my prancing prince. And when I would, he would take off prancing around the whole room just to show me that. This picture is in Colorado Springs. Ended up with him in Colorado Springs, needing a place to keep him, and I couldn't find any place because I didn't have proof of any of his shots or anything. So I spent a few days, and I found a lady who was willing to help me take care of him. I paid for a hotel for her. After staying with her on outside, I'm not averse to sleeping outside under the stars, and people are people regardless of where your station is at in life. I ended up being homeless for 3 days in Colorado Springs, slept on the roof of a barbershop with that dog. It was great, to say the least. Anyway, Blue had he had gotten lost in the mix there, and we're going to leave it at that. He got lost in the mix there. I ended up finding him the day before he was scheduled to have his testes removed. And honestly, now looking back, I wish that I would have let that happen because it would have been better than what ended up happening. In any case, got him back. He had gotten to sit at the pub, slept in a spare bedroom, the guest room, was on a raw diet for the whole 3 days that I had lost him. And he was happy to come back, although he did give me a hard time about it at first. It was grudgingly. Love that boy. You can see him here playing in the rain. There was a grasshopper, and like I said, he was very curious about everything. So it wasn't too long after this that he passed away. And this is the hard part. This is the tragic part, because I feel it didn't have to happen. We'd been staying in the garage, and that because the house still wasn't done yet, my boy was very protective of me, and in his protective nature, one of the things that he didn't like was a lot of noise or things that disrupted me. I'm very sensitive, and he knew that and protected it fiercely. So with that, he didn't like anyone pounding, banging, anything that would startle me, is what it felt like. That being the case, when the front window was being banged on and everybody knew that we were staying in the garage, all you had to do was talk on the other side of the garage and I would have heard you, and Blue would have sounded off too. It didn't make sense. I came and I opened the door with the dog freaking out behind me. I told him, calm down, follow me, and I told the person knocking that they needed to chill out because they were freaking the dog out. By the time that I got to the garage, Blue was making sure that nobody was following me, and the person following me didn't listen. They ended up getting bit by my boy, and he got him good. He got him good. Blue didn't want to calm down. I grabbed him and I got on top of him. When I laid on top of him, it was like he just sighed out. In the meantime, the noose that had been freshly created within the last couple of days, or a couple days prior, was grabbed and brought in, put around his neck, walked him outside to his cage, put him in his kennel, and I went back to the garage to cry. See, this was the second time that I've gone through a family animal attacking a member of my family. And so it was very traumatic for me in both the memories that it brought up and also knowing what I was going to have to deal with next. What I was not prepared for is what came. I don't know how much time passed. I was sobbing like a baby in the garage. I just know that I heard some noise that sounded really eerie. And then all of a sudden everything stopped. There was no more sound, no more noise. And the feeling that I got in my chest was like death. That's the best way I can put it. And it's the only thing that fits because it's what it was. If you are faint of heart, of mind, or easily triggered or triggerable, period, I would recommend not listening to this part because it's rough. I walked upstairs because when I looked out the back, I didn't see the kennel. And I realized that was the sound that I heard. It was the kennel being dragged across the floor as it was pulled to upstairs. I walked up the stairs, and as I got up the stairs, I looked, and I saw a body laying there, and I paid attention. I noticed the noose around his neck. I followed it to the closet where I saw that the other end was attached to my boy's neck, and he was gone. I walked to the person I released the news. They said, "You're stupid." And I turned around and I walked back downstairs to the garage. A minute later, he tried calling me back up there, saying that Blue was breathing, but I had already seen his lifeless body on the floor. He was left there for 3 days. I didn't go back upstairs really after that. I never got to say goodbye. And I'll never forget him.